Doc's Daily, what's happening? It is Thursday, September 25th. We are live in full effect. Craig Trapp stealing York peppermint patties from senior facilities in or around the Ohio area. I'm just saying.
There's
Meanwhile,
nothing better than small York peppermint patties are like
those ones from Olive Garden, those are good too, by the way. Robert Ferringo's live, on a yacht somewhere in the Florida Keys. I just want to get on your level.
I'm in a non-extradition country.
Yeah, exactly. Well played. By the way. Don't forget, guys, like, share, subscribe. Drop in the comment section. You got questions for us today. Thursday football. We got a college football. We got an NFL football. Some meaningless baseball, some meaningful baseball. New customers, free $60 account, docsports.com/free60. Link is in the description of the video. Just click it and go right there. You can get your free $60 account. Use that on anybody you want over at the website. You can use it on these two handicappers here. You can use it as a package, a day pass, month pass, season pass. You do you, Pikachu. Link is in the description of the video. Let's get baseball out of the way. I mean, does anybody have anything that they're betting on baseball? I mean, I have like one play, but I don't like it. I bet Cleveland, just FYI. The last 3 days, I bet Cleveland. So it is what it is. I mean,
making money on your misery, huh?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I got to take something out of it. I mean, I don't think they make the playoffs. They don't. I hope they don't.
Well, Houston's playing just as bad. It's not like Houston's playing great, though. Like they're doing you as a favor.
I don't want nothing to do with that. Robert,
yeah, I think they're going to accidentally make it as the wild card.
Yeah,
I really do, because of how bad Houston has been. But like the Detroit collapse is not some unpredictable thing. Again, like we talked about this a month ago, they have not been a good baseball team since the beginning of June. They got off to a really hot start. They have been a bad team since. It's the same thing with the Mets, and that's why my free play would be to take the Cubs today, because there's no reason that the Mets should be favored over anyone. They have one of the 5 worst records in baseball since the beginning of August. They haven't been a good team since June. What are we talking about here? And this goes back to the old thing that I always talk about. You always bet against teams in must-win situations. Bad teams put themselves in must-win situations like this. So, yeah, we should be betting against the Mets every day for the rest of the season.
Well, all 3 teams lost the must-wins yesterday. Reds, Diamondbacks, Mets all lost yesterday. Like that's
yeah.
And all of them were favored except, well, the Diamondbacks weren't favored. But it was like the odds weren't that bad on the Diamondbacks, and they took it extra innings and still lost.
I'll say this. I as much as I didn't want the Tigers to collapse, I kind of saw this coming too. I agree. To this epic level, I don't think anybody saw that. This is epic. They should make a movie about this, like behind it. This shit is wrong.
I'm a Mets fan, man. I've seen this before. I've seen this movie before.
I'm just saying. Terrence Skubal tried to long snap the ball the other day from the infield on a bunt. He tried to long snap it through his legs over the first base, and then he just demolishes somebody's face with a 99-mile-an-hour fastball. It wasn't intentional, but that team is broken. And now we're going to trot out Tyler Melton. Get the hell, man. Tiger fans are done with baseball, folks.
So give me the lineup for next series, though, because I think today we've kind of like you said, Cleveland today. Give me who's the pitching matchup. Skugel's going to be the last game if they need him, right? So who's pitching? Is it Mize?
He'll probably pitch tomorrow, but there's nothing decided from the Tigers' standpoint. Nothing decided from the Tigers. There's no pitcher listed for the Tigers for the Boston series whatsoever. It doesn't matter. There's not a guy on that team that can go out there and you can hand him the ball. Where's my baseball? And say, here, go win me the game. There's not one.
Well, scoop
on that game. No, there's not. He
still was good. I mean, he had one bad.
His last game in a Tiger uniform.
Maybe.
No, yeah.
Maybe. Let's remember what happened last year, though. The Tigers had a great. The Tigers were reversed last year. They did what Cleveland did last year, where they had that crazy end of the season push, and it carried over to the beginning of this year. Like, you just have to get in the playoffs. Let's remember, like, once you get in the playoffs, anybody can win. We've seen it year after year. Now, you'd rather go in playing like they did last year, get it, granted. But if you have – now, the only problem is if you pitch Scoop on the last game, you're not going to have him –
game one.
Game one. So, like, okay, but if you had him game two, like, I don't know. Then it comes down. So you're 1-1, and you have to try to win a one game, you know? Like, so, I don't know. Mize, maybe?
There's no fight left in this team. Like, somebody throw in the towel, man. Just,
Hey,
I'm for real. There's no fight left in them.
I've lost to the Pirates back-to-back days, my Reds. I was like, okay, yesterday we got to extra innings. I was like, finally, we got past what's his name? Skeens. I'm like, okay, we got the extra innings. Like, here we go. They have a guy on first and second. I'm like, a base hit. We win the game. Ends up not. They go to the 11th inning, and, yeah.
This is all bad. It's just all bad, folks. And Peter feels your pain, Robert. This is typical Mets. Year after year, this happens to the Mets. They do it to themselves. I've been a Mets fan forever, and you will probably win more if you just bet against them. Peter, it is what it is.
But if they can get the Mets win today, it's very possible the Reds play. They're in rain delay, by the way, the Reds. If the Reds lose and the Mets win, there'll be 2 games with 3 games left. They're probably going to get in, Robert.
I promise you that the Mets are not going to win that series against Miami. There is no way that the Mets win more than 1 game against the Marlins.
Well, that might be all they need, right?
Peter will back me up on this. I have seen this from the specific Marlins team. Not like this group of guys, but from the Marlins before when they knocked us out in 07. Tom Glavine's last game with the Mets when he gave up like 8 runs in the first inning that knocked us out.
I remember that game.
Who do the D-backs play?
San Diego. Okay, who
might not need it.
Yeah, they really don't need it. And Cincinnati plays Milwaukee, who also doesn't need it. But I also don't see Milwaukee rolling over for the Reds. No, the Marlins are the team that have been out of it. But now the Mets are giving them a chance to be relevant for 3 days. You're going to get the best that the Marlins have to offer. And they've been like a streaky kind of sneaky. Like they've had weeks and months.
Were they 8-2 their last 10, right, or something like that?
Yeah, I mean they're not that far below 500. You know what I mean? Like the Marlins, pretty good.
They're 4 games below 500. If they like there's a chance they get to, no. Do they have 4 games left? I think they have 4 games left, right? So if the Marlins won out, they win. They finish 500.
Yeah, right. That's what I mean. The Mets have given them a chance to be relevant. It's in Miami this weekend. Like, no, that's going to be my free play tomorrow, everybody. If you want to get a jump on it, is whatever the series price is in that series. And this isn't like Mets doomer stuff. Like, I'm serious. Like, Miami is going to win at least 2 of those 3 games. They really might sweep them, and that's that.
I feel the same way about Boston. Boston's going to host Detroit. Boston's a team that's, has something to play for. And in a must-win, we saw the Detroit Tigers, best pitcher in baseball, long snap the ball through his legs over the first baseman. I mean, it's an epic collapse. Last night, catcher, routine foul ball. I got it. He just dropped it. There was nothing around him for 10 feet. I mean, in a circle. I could have caught that ball for real. And he didn't lose it in the lights. It hit his glove, and he dropped it. And it was like
the big game, right?
That just sums up Tiger baseball right there, right now, folks. That just sums it up, and it's true.
But Houston is like the key, I think, this whole thing. Like, if Houston loses today, basically they would have lost Hunter Brown and Valdez back to back. Your aces against the A's team. All of a sudden, then it becomes, the Tigers have a more, realistic shot at making the playoffs. So, like,
Houston's still got to go play LA. At the Angels.
Well, what happens though? We also have the Yankees and the Blue Jays. The Yankees are hot. The Blue Jays have they're kind of in neutral. It looks like if you'd have said the Yankees were going to come back and win this division, I'm like, no way. Very good possibility. Very good possibility today. I mean, today they should roll, right? I like them running line today. Like, that was my 2-unit play.
I don't know if I see them rolling today. The problem is that other than Freed, who do you trust? Like, look, Rodon is a flake. You just don't know. You know what I mean? Like, he'll strike out 5 in the first 2 innings of that game and be like, oh, we got good Rodon today. Then give up 4 runs in the 3rd inning. And it's just like, what's going on with this guy? That's the problem with New York. That's been the problem with New York for a while. is the lack of reliable pitching. They should beat up the White Sox. The White Sox are awful, right? Like they're a 100-loss team, but
I mean, they should have beat up the White Sox for 3 days in a row now. I mean,
they did. They killed them yesterday.
Yesterday was the only one. The day before that, they won 3.
Yeah, they barely got them the first game.
I think Judge getting over the 50 home runs, I think that was a little pressure he was putting on himself too. So now he's got 50 and 51. I think he'll like that that monkey was on his back a little bit. Like,
right.
Hey, that's a big deal for a player to get over 50 home runs in a year. And he was right at it. It was kind of like he was looked like he was trying to hit home runs, which that's when you don't hit them. So now he's over. I just think this team they're playing good baseball, and there's a big division. There's a big difference in winning the division or being a wild card. And I think it's important for them more than I think the Blue Jays are had mailed it in thinking they were going to have it. Now they're trying to put it back into like high gear, and it's just not working.
Yeah.
Tough to turn it back on.
How about Cal Raleigh? 60 home runs as a catcher. How is that guy's got to be in the consideration for MVP? I get it, Aaron Judge. I get it.
The consideration, he is the MVP. If you guys remember, it was either last Thursday or last Friday on Doc Daly.
2 weeks ago.
You could get him at plus 200 right now. Go make that bet. I checked today. He's minus 225. Like he is the MVP. There's no ifs about it. Like he doing what he's done from the catcher position. You got a little bit of Aaron Judge fatigue, I think, sets in. With the voters and stuff like that, and the fact that Seattle did what they did and swept Houston last week, and now it looks like they're going to win their division. Everything's Cal Raleigh. Like he's the MVP, and like I said, that was one of the better bets I made this month.
I think the big key with Seattle was they needed to win the division for him to do it, because if he would have just snuck into the playoffs, people would be like, well, he's doing it on just an average team. And at the time when Yankees were rolling early and Judge was rolling early before he got injured, it was like he was the best player on one of the best teams in the league. Now you can't say that. Raleigh's on a better team. And to play the catcher position, people don't realize the stress that you go under to be on defense like he is, and then still put up the offensive numbers, the consistency he has. Like he should roll through. Like he should almost sweep be unanimous. Like, to be honest,
get it at minus 225 right now. Like the fact that they're even taking bets. Like I still think it's a value at 225. He is the MVP because, to your point, it was kind of one or the other. They either needed to win the division or he needed to hit 60 home runs. Right? He did both. He did both. He may end up breaking the record now. Like that's still in play. And to your point, every game that guy has to know absolutely everything about every hitter on the other team. Yep. About everything going on with his pitchers and his pitching staff. And he's got to know about the other team's pitching staff because he's got to hit against them too. So he's the MVP. He's the best player in baseball. Like, if they're still taking that bet, I'd still put money down on it.
It's been a great story, the Seattle, because let's be honest, Seattle has had some great players, the Ken Griffey Jr.'s, the A-Rod, and they've gone a long time without being really consistently good. And you look at this team now, it's like this team's set up to be pretty good for a little while. It's not like they're just dependent, even as good as Raleigh has been. They're all playing well. And this is a Seattle team. I would not want to have to play at Seattle if I'm like the Yankees or any of these teams in the East Coast.
Seattle, Milwaukee, World Series.
Oh, God.
I am the exact opposite. I want to play both of those teams in the playoffs. Yeah, 100%.
I wouldn't want to play Milwaukee.
Like the Seattle's giving me Minnesota Twins vibes, right? Like all those years that the Twins had those really good teams, they go to the playoffs, they get swept by the Yankees. Like, I predicted it with Milwaukee. I was like, I can't wait to bet against them in the first round of the playoffs. I said that back in July. I'm saying the same thing about Seattle. I absolutely would want to face them right now. Unfortunately, the way that the bracket looks right now, it's going to be like there's the American League East bracket, where right now the Yankees would have to play the Red Sox, and then the winner has to play the Blue Jays. So, we might not get it. But if I were any of those three teams, I'd want to play Seattle.
The extended series, I wouldn't want to face Milwaukee extended series. I like Milwaukee's pitching. Like, their starting pitching is deep. Seattle's not they're not as deep pitching-wise, but they have a little better lineup, I think.
Their lineup, outside of Raleigh, I just still don't trust that lineup. They still hit like 242 as a team or something like that. Like, they're erratic. They just don't put a lot of runs on the board. And
they seem like they score in bunches, Robert. You know what I mean? Like they'll score 10 one day and 2 the next. It's like it's if they get hot like
Yeah.
they've been the last 10 days, dude, this team, because if they do hit, they're a team to watch. And I'm telling you, Seattle is a very tough place to play.
Mhm.
And, you know, the time difference, all that I think the other best teams are in the East, in my opinion. Like, I think that is a problem if you have to play them there and they have the home field.
I get it. I like this comment here. Marlins could win today. Steven, I kind of like the Marlins. I do today for no reason other than what is Philly playing for?
Nothing, right? Didn't they secure everything now?
Yeah, they're all set. The Dodgers are pretty much locked into the 3 seed in the National League. So I mean,
and they're
rolling
pretty
out.
locked in it too. So I mean, they're not going to catch Milwaukee. I mean, they could, but you can need
They
some
won
help.
11-1 yesterday. I had them on the run line yesterday. I agree that they're pretty much done. That it's pretty much. I would bet Miami the next 4 days. You know,
That's fair.
I think
I
Miami
think
wins out. They finish 500. So I do think Miami's like if you're Miami after what they started this year and you finish 500, there's momentum going into next year. We saw what that happened to Detroit. Now it was a little different. They made the playoffs, but when you finish the year strong, look at Atlanta. Look what Atlanta's doing. Well, they won 9 of the last 10, right? 10 of the last 11, something like that. And you start to say, hey,
it was like 11 in a row before they lost yesterday. Yeah.
So it's like you carry some of that can get carried into next season, but if you finish 0-4 or something, that all is like lost.
Well, that's like Steven, you mentioned, got to take the Seattle on the run line today. Of course, 100% bet against the Rockies as much as you can, as long as you can. But you said Texas. No, you don't want to bet on the Rangers. The Rangers are done. Like they're a team that has just given up. Minnesota is a joke, but the Rangers had lost 9 straight before they finally won yesterday. 8 straight they had lost. Like they're done. This was a team that was in it 3 weeks ago, right in the middle of it, right in the mix. Now they know they're not going to the playoffs. They have absolutely nothing to play for. They do not care. They have scored more than 4 runs one time in the last 2 weeks. They got swept by the Marlins. They lose the first game to the Twins. Don't bet on the Rangers, man. They are 100% a team that is just playing out the string for these last 4 days. The season can't end soon enough for them.
I saw somebody, there was a Twitter person that said they had, now Seattle's playing so good, of course, Seattle and the Seahawks, or the Mariners and the Seahawks to win it all this year. And I forget what the ticket was. It was $100 pays $5,000 or something stupid numbers, because I'm guessing they bet it when Seattle wasn't, winning, obviously, in this hot streak. And I'm like, and they both play tonight. Seattle, if they win tonight, the Seahawks win tonight. They go to 3-1. You start looking at their schedule, 49ers banged up as always. And it's you'd already be up 1 game in Arizona. I mean, the Rams just lost. It's that
much
division,
momentum going on the Seahawks tonight, Craig. Are we getting pinned against the public here? Are you going the other way and taking Arizona in this one? What do you think there?
I thought the unders to play tonight. The side scares me to death in this one, because if you said Kyler Murray just gets he gets loose for a few crazy plays, that's how Arizona's going to need to win. I think I could see that. If you say Seattle just keeps him in the pocket the whole game, and now that Connor's out, they don't have any running game. I could see that too. So to me, I think all those points that Seattle scored last week against New Orleans, put a line through it. That is the New Orleans Saints. Take the under tonight. I think it's going to be a lot lower points. I always think these Thursday games, we've seen it. The opening week, wasn't it? It was Philly. They got up big in the first half. The total, they ended up going under too. I believe week 2 went under. And week 3 went under, right? Or at least 2 of the 3, I think, went under. I like the under again tonight.
Yeah, I always lean Thursday night under. It's just kind of an awkward thing. But, these teams in the West, sneaky. I rewatched that San Francisco-Arizona game. There was nothing that Arizona did wrong in that game, why they were only held to 15 points. San Francisco's defense is awesome. They're really, really good. Arizona's defense is really, really good. They played very, very well. They couldn't stop Ricky Pearsall. Ricky Pearsall was the best player on the field in that game. That's why San Francisco won, is they had Pearsall and Arizona didn't really. But Seattle's defense is absolutely no joke. So, I think you might be onto something there with the under. Kind of the math and the regression numbers for some of their offensive yards per point makes me think that it could be a little bit higher scoring. But these defenses out west, and throw the Rams defense in there as well. Just 4 really sneaky good, sneaky underrated defenses out there. The problem with Arizona in this matchup is that Seattle just kind of owned them, right? Like I think Seattle is 10-1-1 in their last 12 in Arizona.
2021, right? The last time they won, something like that.
Yeah,
crazy.
And Seattle had won like 7 in a row before that too. Like they've won 10 out of 11 times in Arizona. They've won 8 out of 10. So it's one of those things where it's almost like you got to prove it to me, Arizona. If you bet Seattle and Arizona wins, you just say, okay, they had won 10 of 11. Like, I'll take that versus, like betting on the regression that this is Kyler Murray's day.
Yeah,
I will say this:
what happens with Marvin Harrison Jr.? That is scratch. I didn't think he was going to be as good as people thought when he got drafted, but I mean, I didn't think he'd be like dropping catches left and right. I almost think tonight you take his over receptions and his over yards because I think they're going to try to get him involved early, screen, some easier stuff to kind of get his confidence up. I was kind of thinking that, and they kind of need him. McBride, outside of McBride, it's like no one else is really kind of taking that next step to be the number 2 guy there.
I have a 7-unit daily prop play in this game. Strike Point Sports also has a 7-unit daily prop play in this game on Arizona. That was a bad drop from Marvin Harrison. That was kind of a game changer last week in that San Francisco game because that probably would have gone for a touchdown. And when I say it was a bad drop, I mean he was 10 yards behind the nearest defender waiting for the ball and dropped it.
Sometimes those are the hardest ones to catch. You know what I mean? Sometimes those are the hardest ones to catch. It's like, oh, this is like too easy. What do I do? And you're in your head and boom, boom. You're like,
because he knew, if you're open, like, and if you have a chance to win, and he's like turning his head, looking to where am I going to score? What touchdown dance I'm going to do? And it's like the interception that's thrown right to the defender. Like they always drop that one. Like the really tough ones they make.
That's why they play defense. I mean, there's a reason they're DB
they could catch, they'd be receivers.
Yeah, exactly. I'll say this though. I think Trey Benson. Like I get James Conner was the number 1 back there, but they like Trey Benson and they like that 1-2 punch with them. And I think Trey Benson has kind of a day here. I'm not saying a day like he's going to go off, but I think
was it 59 yards, Lenny? Is it his over 59 yards? I think
54. Well, I don't think it's that. I think it was
56 and a half, something around there.
Mid 50s. I'm looking right now.
Everybody's going to hit that over. I'm looking less at him. I'm looking more at Kyler Murray. I think that he's going to be a little bit more involved in the running game in terms of like designed runs and stuff like that. His number was a little low. I think his rushing yards was 29 and a half. He's gone over 30 in all 3 of their games with Connor. And I think it's going to be more of a team effort. Like the thing about Benson compared to Connor is he's just not as decisive of a runner. Like Connor gets the ball and goes. He goes.
Head bowling ball down.
Even when he does a spin move or something like that, it's like going forward where Benson's a little bit more hesitant. I wouldn't be surprised to see them get Greg Dortch involved in kind of they hand the ball off to him coming across or stuff like that. Like I don't think it's going to be one guy. I don't think Benson's just going to like step on the field and break, 89 to 100 guys. Like it's going to be more of a team effort tonight. And I think they're going to spread the running game around. And also Seattle, I believe has a top 10 rushing defense. They're only allowing like 95.7 rushing yards per game. So tough team to break out again.
Which I like Trey Benson in the pass game. So I like them to use the pass game to help the short run stuff or short passes as like kind of a run. The Lions do this a lot with men in motion and stuff like that. Little swing passes, stuff like that. Marvin Harrison Jr., Trey Benson, that's where I feel like he's more into play. I love the Kyler Murray designed run stuff like you guys were talking about. I think he gets involved. I kind of like Arizona. This has a 2-point game written all over it. Honest to God, I might $20 pizza money parlay type on money on just a defensive touchdown. I'm just saying. I think both defenses legit. I don't think either team scored 20 points. Take kicker prop.
Like there's been so many weird plays already this year between block kicks, punt returns. The new kick return rule really has affected the game where if you can get it to bounce and they down it in the end zone, you get it at the 20-yard line. People are trying to do that where you kick it in the end zone, you get it to 35. So, I mean, we just seen some weird things. Okay, tell me this, Robert and Lenny. of these two teams, they've had one quality win, I would guess you would say, and that would be the Steelers win. But that is the Steelers team good? I think that's the question for me. I think Seattle would not be favored. They didn't beat Pittsburgh at Pittsburgh. I'm not convinced Steelers are good. Are they good, Robert?
Good, but what they did to New Orleans last week, like I know it was the Saints, but anytime you hammer somebody 38-6 in the first half, you know that's a good win in my book.
Right.
Really, like when you knock somebody out in the first half like that, that's pretty good. They probably should have won that San Francisco game. They had opportunity after opportunity in week one, so Seattle should be 3-0. My only problem is I said this at the beginning of the year when I talked about Seattle. I like everything they got going, man. Everything they got going, but I refuse to trust Sam Darnold. We know who this guy is. He's a turnover waiting to happen. Like we're starting to see that the Clint Kubiak effect with this offense too, right? They scored 75 points in the last two games. Now, yes, they had a punt return touchdown. They had another touchdown set up by a blocked punt last week, so they had special teams contributing. But just offensively, Seattle is starting to find that rhythm, and they are starting to look like New Orleans did at the beginning of last year when that Kubiak offense really just took off. So I don't trust Kyler Murray. Arizona has been outgained in all three of their games. They got outgained by New Orleans. So if you want to look at like the common opponent thing too, Seattle knocked out the Saints in the first half, where Arizona, that was a little bit more of a slog.
That was tricky.
They only won by 7 in week one. They weren't super impressive. Arizona wasn't impressive against Carolina, and that's a really bad Carolina team. So Seattle has definitely played better of the two of them, and I think they are the better team. It's just really hard to trust Sam Darnold, man. It just is.
On the road, too.
Yeah.
Well, Arizona's not like it's not like going to Philly. I've been to Arizona as a Lions fan. I'm not worried about that. Home fans are not a thing in Arizona. I mean, I know
Thursday night football games. Well, they'll have a nice advantage today. Thursday night, Sunday night, Monday night games, like you don't get these.
Stadium's not sold out tonight.
What?
I'll bet you dollars to donuts, Greg Trapp. We got to be able to Google that.
So the Diamondbacks game, everybody's going to be at the Diamondbacks game. Is that why? The Diamondbacks play this afternoon, so you can go watch the Diamondbacks lose.
I will bet you there's probably more, you'll see more Seattle, that lime highlighter green color, that baby shit green color that they wear. You'll see more of that in the stands. I've been to multiple Arizona Cardinals games to see the Lions play. And their fans are not a problem. And like they're like, oh hey, come on. They're almost like going to Canada to watch a game. It's real weird. They're like all friendly and shit. And I don't understand that. Like
I think Lenny just threw Canada under the bus like by happenstance. He just like threw him under the bus.
I always do that. It's Canada.
He's like the Canada people.
Canada is the nicest place ever. It's just like right.
They just can't win at their own sport. We have taken hockey over. Like Canada hasn't won in what?
Calm down with that.
25 years. 25 years. We've taken it
involved in that argument. All right,
I'm just saying.
That's all Craig Trapp right there, Canada folks.
I backdoor him. I just like ran up the mountain and over top of him.
You got good whiskey. You got good Labatt's Blue. Anytime I'm watching a hockey game in Detroit, you got to have Labatt's Blue. You got good whiskey. That's about it. That's the end.
Picking Horses mentioned that Torrey Horton has been coming on for the Seahawks, caught a touchdown each of the past 2 weeks. He's been over 30 yards each of the last 2 weeks. Actually, this guy is on my daily prop card. I have that 7-unit play in this game. I also have a play on Torrey Horton, and I have him over. It was 22.5 receiving yards earlier in the week. He's become a very reliable, very explosive number 3 receiver. They haven't been using Cooper Kupp maybe as much as I thought they were going to be, because they're just kind of spreading the ball around that Seattle offense. They got a lot of playmakers. And yeah, I like him to continue to get touches. I like him over 22.5 yards. That number's starting to creep up. We'll see where it ends up.
I like that.
When they let what's his name go in the trade to Pittsburgh, I thought maybe Seattle. Yeah, like I thought maybe they were waving the white flag a little bit. Like, hey, we'll try to win with defense. We're still going to try to win. They have not taken a step back on offense at all, which was, and like you said, getting Sam Darnold, I was like, man, that's like rolling the dice.
That's not
like,
the answer right there.
I didn't think so. I mean, he was good. Let's be honest. For 14 weeks last year, he was awesome for Minnesota. Then the playoff game became the questions. Like that looked like the old Sam Darnold. Is he going to be able to do which one is him? Like I still think there's a little bit in him. Like you're going to have that playoff game every once in a while with him. Every once in a while you're going to look like, but he does not have, like I don't think he quite has the weapons he did there, but he's looked good so far. This is more of a prove it game for me because this is more like everybody's watching. Is Sam
Division
Darnold?
rival.
Yeah,
I like it. All right, real quick before we leave out of here, any thoughts, Robert? We'll start with you. Army, ECU.
I've been betting against Army pretty consistently this season, so I'm going to stick with that. I do like this East Carolina team. It's complete opposite matchup, all running versus all passing, but I'll go with the home team. I still just don't trust Army. I don't think that they replaced the guys that they lost last week, or excuse me, last season. So it's East Carolina for me.
Fair enough, Craig.
So in our video with me and I called him Eastern Carolina. Oh my goodness. You would think I called Alabama Auburn. Like, I mean, people coming out of the woodwork, like, dude, I didn't call him by the wrong team name. I was just kind of in passing.
The Eastern Carolina Pirates.
When it's East Carolina, obviously, I like the over tonight. This Army defense is not good. They know they have to pretty much score every time they get the ball because their defense has really struggled. If you take away that Kansas State win, Robert, which Kansas State's not been good, by the way, man, this Army team's been not good so far. I like the over in this matchup. I think it's an absolute shootout, which is crazy when you're saying that when you have a team that runs the option, but that's the way the Army games have been played this year.
It is what it is.
Play better this week than they did against BYU. A lot of self-inflicted wounds last week. Some dumb penalties. They had back-to-back interceptions. I'm like, threw an interception, BYU scores. Next play, throw another interception. So they really just put themselves behind it. I just think they're going to be better in this game. And I think East Carolina at their best and Army at their best. I think the Pirates are going to be a better team.
Yeah, and remember this. BYU,
I like it.
BYU is good. That's what people don't realize, especially early in the year. They've been good for like the last 3 or 4 years early in the year. Late in the year, people kind of start figuring BYU out, especially away from home. I think that's going to end up being a pretty good win. We'll find out what BYU is. They're the late game on Saturday night, FY, at Colorado. And I think Colorado is better than the 2-2 record. I think Houston's pretty good. I think we obviously know Georgia Tech's good. They were right in that game in the first game of the year. So I think BYU, we're going to find out that BYU is pretty good this week. And thus, I think East Carolina it looks a little better after that.
Yeah, and they face physical teams. So, like, what Army does on the ground is going to bother them. They face BYU. They played against NC State in the first week. Like, that win with Army against Kansas State, again, you gotta take that with a grain of salt. Not just because Kansas State isn't bad. Those two teams play very similar styles, right? Like, that was going to be a close game, likely one way or another, either way. So, no, yeah, it's East Carolina will be on my card tonight, as will Seattle.
There you go, folks. A little free play action. College football, NFL. We talked MLB. Peter had a question here. Just side question. You can watch these shows later. I appreciate you coming by, becoming a subscriber. Hit that thumbs up. We're here. This show is here Monday through Friday, 1 o'clock Eastern, Saturday, 11 a.m. Eastern. And you can always rewatch the shows. They're listed by day under the live.
If you go to the channel, you have to click on live. This is a live video, so you have to click on live and then instead to find it. FYI.
Yeah.
By the way, no Doc's football release show.
Correct.
Now we are doing away with that show. If I know that there are some of you guys that are in here every day that also watch that show. If you liked that show, if you have a problem with that show not being produced anymore, service at docsports.com. Let them know what you think.
Start a petition, Robert. Start it. I'll sign it. I'll sign that something. I will. I'll sign it. I ain't got no problems with it. Don't forget, guys, like, share, subscribe. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Doc's Daily, 1 o'clock Eastern. Otherwise, good luck unless you're against us. Tigers by 27 runs. See you on the next one.